In this video, pag-uusapan natin yung mga trading demons. Una, ano yung usual trading demons na na-encounter natin as a trader? Pangalawa, how to identify them? And then pangatlo, how can we address those trading demons? With that being said, pag-uusapan muna natin usually, ano ba yung mga trading demons na i-encounter natin as a trader? Una dyan is the confirmation bias. When we talk about confirmation bias, this trading demon usually, siya yung bumubulong sa'yo kapag, kunyari, if you're long or if you're short, ang tendency naghahanap ka ng details that support your bias to the direction kung saan man papunta yung market. Now, sa trading, delikado to. If we only look at the bias and if we take trades based on this, hindi na natin masisilip yung possibilities and cons or the risk of each and every trade. Madaling mag-over-allocate because we are overly optimistic. And pag nagkamali tayo, we are not mentally ready sa realidad. At dahil over-optimistic tayo, the tendency is that we only look at the good side. If constantly nangyayari sa ito, I would suggest that before you enter the trade, you look at the negative, the risk. For example, if you want to go long, and yung thesis mo, parang sinasabi niya that you should go long, then look at the reason why would that trade should go against you. Why would this trade won't go up? Start seeing the trade on a different perspective. Number 2, FOMO or fear of missing out. The celebrity of all trading demons. So most likely, if you're trading, namit mo na ang trading demon na to. And you have your own fair share of history in this trading demon. Basically, si FOMO is when you fear of missing out on a trade, fear of missing out of profits, or fear of being left behind in a certain position. And usually, pag nagpakita yung FOMO, pag meron tayong nakikitang isang asset na gumagalaw, and we expect that it will go to that direction, sa tingin natin, pupunta siya, tapos naisip natin, if only I entered in this price, ganito din dapat kalaki yung kinikita ko. Bakit di ko tinread yung coin na to? At bakit di ako pumasok agad? Yan, ibig sabihin yan, bumubulong na sa'yo si FOMO. And FOMO usually lead us to taking bad trades, bad allocation, and completely losing control. Personally, I had experience this before na may mga gumagalaw na coins and tapos wala sa watchlist ko. Or nakita ko siya sa social media, so matunog siya, either yung mga kaibigan ko or kilala kong traders, natitrade yung coin na yon. Tapos, ayun na. Siyempre, parang ayoko na ma-left out in this party. So, papasok ako sa trade na yon. Parang iniisip ko na, ay, hindi pwede na hindi ko ma-trade tong coin na to. And immediately, I'll jump. And the trade, most of the time, the trade won't work because syempre I'm making decision na rooted sa emotions ko. Pangatlo, revenge trading. O ito na, si Bawi moves. My boy. Tawag niya my boy. There are countless times in the past where I revenge traded. Either I lost on a trade, I was angry, I missed an opportunity, or gusto kong mabawi yung recent loss, or minsan yung isang trade na dapat panalo tapos na-close ko na maaga, ayan, kumakaway na sa akin yung revenge trading. And then, let me tell you, si revenge trading can completely destroy your account. It will blow your account completely. Susunugin ka talaga niyan. Okay? And if hindi mo ma-recognize si revenge trading ng maaga, okay, and if you don't combat this in real time, talaga naman, okay, magpaalam ka na sa portfolio mo. Sa akin noon, lumalabas to pag yung nag-enter ako sa trade, tapos diretso agad sa stop loss. Alam mo yung tipong parang hinain mo talaga, ganun yung nararamdaman, parang binigay ko lang talaga yung pera ko. Tapos yung tipong kung saan ako naglagay ng trail stop, saktong-saktong pupuntahan lang yun ng price. Tapos saka lilipad. So kung nakarelate ka doon, alam mo na. So immediately, ang gagawin ko, I will look for another trade or I will trade the same coin para makabawi lang yung natalo sa akin na pera. Guys, the moment na naisip mo na gusto mong bumawi or bawiin yung perang nawala sa'yo, that should be the moment that dapat mag-step away ka from your trading desk. Walk away and call it a day. Trust me, just walked away. Hanap ka na muna ng ibang gagawin. Mag-exercise ka na lang muna or balik ka na lang bukas kesa may magawa kang isang bagay na pagsisisihan mo. Next, number 4 is overconfidence, aka the Superman syndrome. Well, alam na naman natin that confidence is key and it's essential in our daily lives, but only to a certain level sa trading. Sa trading, if you're overconfident, it can end up really bad for you. Now, there are many times na parang umpisa pa lang ng araw ko, nahit ko na agad yung malaking part ng quota or nahit ko na yung quota ko for that week. Sa isang trade pa lang yun ha. Then, ayun na pala, bumubulong na pala yung trading demon na to. Na, ang sasabihin kasi niyan sa'yo, if you only put more money or if you only risk more capital, mas malaki sana yung kinita mo. Ayun na. Dahil maganda yung execution mo dun sa naunang trade, I had that tendency na dala-dala ko yung confidence na yon for the next trade. Pero hindi lang siya yung confidence na normal. High level of confidence na parang feeling ko na di ako matatalo at lahat ng ititrade ko mag-work according sa gusto kong direction. Typically, in that next trade is where I would lose half of the previous gain or yung buong gain ko ng isang araw na yon. Meron pang mga times na nasa series ako ng winning streak or ilang weeks na sunod-sunod magaganda yung trades ko, puro panalo. And yung pakiramdam na di na ako matatalo. Lahat ng tinitrade ko nagmamaterialize only to be followed by a big loss or a series of losing days that will take half, if not, yung buong gain ko in the past few weeks, kukunin niya. It is very important na maging aware tayo sa mga patterns na to. It is very important that we handle them habang maaga pa. In order for us to track and identify them, you must be journaling and tracking your data. Kailangan malaman mo saan nga ba yung mga weakness and kailan nga ba nagpapakita yung mga trading demons na to. So I would recommend starting tomorrow, you start journaling. Pero you might ask, uy, paano ko magjo-journal? Paano ko mami-measure yung mental errors through journaling? What I teach is gumawa ka muna ng game plan. Create a watch list and trading plans for the next day. Bago ka mag-trade, the night before, ready mo na to. Have your setups ready, parameters mo din, yung bias mo, kung paano mo iti-trade yung mga coins na yun, and make sure that you have scenario planned. And once you're done trading the following day, what I need you to do is balikan mo yung mga trades mo. Check if you executed according doon sa game plan mo the night before. If okay naman yung first trade mo tapos nasundan ng 3 consecutive losses, ask yourself, ba't ako nagkaroon ng sunod-sunod na loss? Dahil ba overconfident ka? O kaya nagkaroon ka ng sunod-sunod na loss kasi natalo ka ng pangalawang trade mo, tapos gusto mong bawiin yung pangatlo, tapos natalo ka uli ng pera, or kumusta ka emotionally? Now, all of these things need to be written down, especially pag bago ka pa lang. Kailangan mo magsulat, kailangan mo mag-reflect para mas makilala mo ang sarili mo. Mas malalaman mo paano ka mag-process ng information, paano ka mag-react to the market, and how you react in a certain situation. Very crucial to if you really want to develop as a profitable trader. I'm telling you, there are multiple times where I did my reflection and journaling. Yung unang trade ko, maganda. Tama yung setup, tama yung entries, yung exit, yung allocation. Then yung pangalawang trade ko, mapapansin ko na, teka, okay siya nung time na tinrade ko. Parang maganda. Now, nung nag-reflect ako, mali pala. Dapat hindi pala ito yung tinrade ko because of certain things. Those trader na ginagawa tong sinasabi ko will agree on me on this. Na parang minsan, when you trade a specific setup or you trade something or a coin, nung time na nakita mo siya, parang okay siya eh. Pero once na na-reflect mo na or once na nag-journal ka na, sasabihin mo sa sarili mo, dapat pala hindi ko tinrade tong coin na to. Regardless of the outcome. Kahit nanalo ka or natalo ka, dapat pala hindi ko tinrade yung coin na yun. Bakit? Yan yung isang bagay na na-realize ko and kagandahan ng trading. Ikaw at yung person na nasa harap ng trading desk have the tendency na magkaiba, mag-decide pag may pera or money on the line and live execution na. Mas makikilala natin yung sarili natin sa trading. Ako personally, na-notice ko na iba ako mag-decide pag may pressure or excessive monies on the line. Kesa doon sa trader na nagre-review ng journal or when I'm on the side. Okay, mas clear. Hindi ako attached emotionally sa execution ko. Yung mga trade na tinitake natin nung time na yon, it makes sense, pero while journaling or reflecting, it doesn't make sense. Okay? Dapat hindi mo siya tinrade. There is this gap. Okay? There is this gap. And the next thing is how to bridge the gap. May gap between those two type of traders. Okay? The one who executed the trade and the one who's reflecting the trade. Now, the next thing is how can we bridge those two gaps? Paano mo mararating from point A to point B wherein objective ka talaga sa mga trades mo and you recognize if you're taking a good trade or not. While you're journaling, you have to take notes of those trading errors and questions na lumalabas. For example, price is near to your stop loss. And instead of cutting or instead of allowing the price to hit your stop loss, you added position. Tanungin mo sarili mo, kaya ka ba nag-add ng position kasi tingin mo maganda talaga yung trade idea mo? Or dahil gusto mo lang na mas lumaki yung possible na kitain ng trade? Or kaya ka nag-add ng position dahil para lumaki yung room for error? Magkakaiba yon. Did I take this trade dahil ma-edge ako or na-meet nito yung mga criterias ko? Or am I trading blindly? Meaning, nakita ko lang na gumalaw siya dahil nasa top gainer nung araw na yon, or dahil nakita ko lahat ng ibang kakilala ko na trader, tinitrade siya. Kaya gusto ko makasabay din ako. Yan yung mga example ng questions na dapat lumalabas pag nagjo-journal or nagre-reflection ka. Kung gusto mo talagang tumagal sa mundo ng trading, if you really want to take this seriously, you have to know the answer to these questions. So in the next 6 months, know the answer to these questions. So to review, first, understand ano-ano yung mga trading demon. Second, identifying kung ano yung mga trading demons na meron ka by journaling and reflecting. Third, will be fixing the problem. Now, here is the fun fact. Those trading demons, once na ma-identify na natin sila, we become aware of them, right? The thing is, they will never go away. Pero sabi nga ni Ryan Holiday that the obstacle is the way. So we don't necessarily need to remove them. Kailangan lang natin sila ma-recognize and build a system around them para pag nagpakita sila, alam na natin kung paano natin mapipigilan ang mga trading demons na to at paano natin mape-prevent na maposes nila tayo. At the same time, use them to protect ourselves from ourselves. So, gagawin natin sa part na to is that I will teach you how to manage these trading demons based on my own experience and kung paano pag lumabas sila, I was able to catch them real quickly. Number 1, do not increase your allocation after winning trade. Kung nangyari meron ako isang magandang trade sa umpisa pa lang ng araw ko, my next trade, bawal ako mag-increase ng allocation. Dahil ayoko na ma-carry over ko pa yung confidence at ma-amplify yon dahil nanalo ako previously or yung previous trade ko, which might lead me to a blind trade. So, bawal ako mag-increase ng allocation. I would take another trade but I will not increase my allocation kasi ayoko na baka mamaya nag-overconfident lang ako. 3 max losses. If nagkaroon ako ng 3 losses sa isang araw, I'm done for the day. Lalo na kung kunyari 3 consecutive losses, I'm out. Pahinga muna tayo, quiz. I personally implemented this rule dahil what might happen or what happened before is that I tend to get angry pag natalo ako. Like for example, natalo ka ng 6,000, 3 trades consecutively. If mag-allocate uli ako ng another $2,000, tapos napatalo ko na naman yon, medyo makati na and substantial yung damage na nangyari sa portfolio. And yung amount na yon, medyo malaking part na ng portfolio. So, that is why, pag nagkaroon ako ng 3 loss, stop na ako for the day. Time period cut off. So, I don't trade Saturdays and Sundays. Main reason for this is para makapagpahinga. This is very true if you're trading crypto. Kasi the market is 24/7. Early in my trading career, I don't care about the days. Basta-basta trade na lang ako ng trade regardless 7 days, Brad. Trade lang ako ng trade. Pero kailangan talaga ng katawan natin ng pahinga. And para makapag-create tayo ng quality decisions. Remember that trading is the business of making good decision. And in this business, you have to make a lot of good decisions. Ipalagi kang nakatutok sa market. Ang tendency niyan is that your mind will play trick on you. It will try to find an opportunity or create an opportunity. However, ang totoo is that it's a low quality decision. Pero, ang totoo, yung opportunity na nakita mo might look nice, but the reality is that it's a low quality setup. Magiging mababa yung quality ng decision mo. Papasok ka sa trade, it will become a losing trade, then you would go spiral from there. Magpa-party-party na yung mga trading demons dyan sa utak mo. So set a time or days where you're out and away from the market. When I'm done, I'm done. When I mentally checked out, lalo pag sinabi ko na I'm done, I immediately walk away and close all my positions. The next thing na ginagawa ko niyan is I will journal regardless of if nag-gain ako nung araw na yon or if talo yung araw na yon. Reflect. Hindi na ulit ako babalik sa trading desk ko or hindi na ulit ako sisilip ng market for the rest of the day. If it's the weekend, sayonara, bye-bye. Pag sa FOMO naman, ang rule ko dyan, NWNT. Not on my watch list, no touch. I have a fair share of this trading demon. Gusto ko lahat ng gumagalaw na coins before natitrade ko. Gusto ko lahat nasa top movers, merong position ako. Kahit wala sa watchlist ko. And the rule na na-create ko is that if wala sa watchlist ko at di kita napagplanuhan, I'm not taking that trade. Bahala kang gumalaw dyan. Wala akong pake sa'yo. If meron kang matututunan sa video na to, I want you to remember this. If you will make money from the market, make sure that it makes sense to you. Anong ibig ko sabihin dito? If kunyari meron kang 10 trade na wala naman talaga sa watchlist mo at wala ka talagang game plan, tapos kumita ka doon, meaning it's a chamba trade. Congratulations. You just allowed a bad habit to enter your trading space. In short, you just fed the demon. The moment na one trading demon entered your trading space is the moment you allowed it to call another trading demon hanggang maging 2 na sila dyan, tapos magko-compound, maging 4 hanggang sa talagang nag-party-party na sila sa utak mo. And the next thing you know is that malaki na yung loss mo, na parang impyerno na yung utak mo, pati portfolio mo kasi nasusunog na. So gusto natin ma-resolve yung at ma-avoid yung mga ganitong pangyayari. Avoid taking unnecessary trades na wala naman talaga sa game plan mo. We want to avoid yung mga trades na wala ka naman talagang edge. Hindi nag-a-align sa playbook mo or sa strategy or sa setup or whatever you call it. Because once you avoid those and you focus on cultivating environment that you only take trades under your trading system and also aligned with your game plan, it will start creating a good habit which will compound over time. These are the things that I wish I had a mentor who teaches me early in my trading journey. Pero wala kasi. So I had to go by myself and I had to experience those things. I had to research about them. And this is why I want to share this with you. Kasi alam ko na pagdadaanan mo rin to. All you have to do is know what are those trading demons are, identify them, then create a game plan how you can manage them and use them into your advantage. So again, yung mga trading demons na yan, kahit asa ang level ka na ng trading career mo, kahit ilang taong ka na sa pagtitrade, hindi naman sila nawawala. You have to repeat the system again and again. Identify, resolve. Identify, resolve. Most of the profitable traders na kilala ko, there are really good problem solvers. We identify the problem and we solve them. And if you have any questions, just comment down below. I hope na may natutunan ka. Galingan mo pa sa mga trades mo. Keep inspiring. Take action. One trade at a time.